Karen Pierce has shared her labor and delivery journey, giving fans an honest and emotional glimpse into the experience of welcoming her baby.
Hello, guys. Um, Sivana is sleeping, and the kids aren't here yet. They're on their way, but they're not here, so it's kind of quiet, and I find myself to feel a little bit more like myself today, so I figured I would make this video and not only say hello and that I miss you guys and that I'm alive and I'm doing okay. I am surviving the newborn trenches, and I'm in super mommy mode right now. I've been waking up every 2 hours to feed. I went through the whole like painful breastfeeding. I'm still kind of in it a little bit, but I'm much better now. I actually had mastitis a couple days ago where I had like the shivers and like the night sweats, and I felt really sick, and I had like clogged ducts in my breasts, and so thankfully I got someone to help me with that. So I'm feeling much better, but I just showered. I feel good. I'm like, I need to talk to my peoples. But I wanted to tell you guys my labor story. So I didn't get a chance to tell you guys because so much happened so fast. And as you guys know, I had my baby here at my house. So last time I like really spoke to you guys, I had taken the castor oil. And the castor oil is magic. Don't do it unless you're overdue. And also ask your, speak to your doctor, your midwife, or whatever. I did, and that's what she recommended. And I'm telling you, like a couple hours later, my water broke. So, yeah, I was home and I was telling Igor, I'm like, I feel like today's the day. Like, I don't know what it is about today, but I feel it. But I was like, I want to tell you that today's the day, but I'm just going to look at you. Because at that point, I felt like the boy cried wolf, because I felt like I was going into labor every single day for like 2 weeks leading up to that moment. And so that day I got ready and I was like, listen, like we're gonna go out to eat, we're gonna leave the house, which wasn't like me at that point, because I didn't really want to leave my house just in case something would happen, being overdue. But that day I was like, no, like let's go out, let's get some fresh air, like I'm feeling it. And so we went to this Brazilian steakhouse. We ate, it was like a buffet, we ate. And literally like the moment I took my last bite, I'm like sitting there and I'm looking at Igor and I'm like, my belly feels really hard. Like I don't know why it feels really hard, but I had the feeling it's because, and I start to like explain why I thought that my belly was hard. All of a sudden, my water breaks. And it's just like gushing, and I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't feel like you peed yourself. It just feels like this warm gush, and I had never felt that leading up to that point with any of my babies, because my water never broke on its own. It was just like something that would happen while I was like in labor, or like I just never had that happen. And so he looks at me, he looked like he saw a ghost. And he was about to get up, and I'm thinking like, no. Where are you going? Like let's talk here. Like, I'm fine. We're gonna pay. You're gonna get the car, and we're gonna go home, and everything's okay. And so we took a deep breath. He goes and pays. He gets the car. We get home. I'm calling my midwife, and she's like, okay, once your water breaks. And so she goes, get home. Let me know what color the liquid is, like from the, like let me know so she can like tell me, give me more information just to make sure that's what it was. She's like, shower and let me know when the contractions start. So I get home, I shower right away. Like we got home within like 5 minutes because we were down the street. And I took a shower, and within 10 minutes, my active labor started. And I knew that it was active labor because it just felt really different than what it was feeling like, in terms of like, it's like you can't really talk or walk when the contractions happen. Like you kind of have to just like stay still and wait till it passes. And so I texted her right away, and I'm like, no, it's happening right now. Like, please come. And so she came, the doula came, everyone came over. Igor set up all of the like labor area that we had planned. We had planned for the birthing pool to be outside, where I had my I had done my baby shower in the spot where my goal was to have the birthing pool. So that's something I didn't tell you guys, but it was like something that I had been planning for a while, and I did it specifically there because I wanted to like bless that area with my family and my friends, and I felt, and I'll tell you later, but that really did make a huge difference. And so that's where I wanted to give birth. And so he set that up, and I started my contractions, and then once I felt like they were getting really strong, I thought like I have to be downstairs, because if I'm gonna give birth in water downstairs outside, I got to be closer to the door, right? Because I might not be able to walk down there, and I didn't know how quickly I progressed. Last thing I had heard from my midwife was that she had went from 1 centimeter to 10 centimeters in an hour when she had her kid. And so I thought like, oh my gosh, like who knows how long I'm going to be in labor. And so I go downstairs. My brother had just arrived to come pick up Ace, because I figured like I didn't want Igor to be like walking the dog and stuff while the baby's here. And so I asked my brother if he can watch Ace for a day. So he came to pick him up, and so he was like a huge grounding support for the first couple hours of labor. And then he ended up leaving, which was good because it really gave me and Igor an opportunity to like just be with ourselves. Oh, and the kids weren't here. They had gotten picked up right before we went to the restaurant, which worked out perfectly because originally I had thought, maybe my kids would be here during the labor, but I'm glad that they weren't, because I really do feel like it's something that it's hard to explain. Like once you're in it, like you can't focus on anything else. And like I'm super mommy mode. Like I don't want to make sure my kids are okay, and like I don't want them to see me in pain and stuff. So I'm glad that they weren't here. So perfect. The whole thing was perfect. So my water breaks at 5 p.m. At 5:30, I'm like officially in active labor. I go outside and, So I go downstairs and I'm looking at the couch. I'm looking at the chair. I'm like, should I lay on the couch? And for some reason, I couldn't be in the house. Like I couldn't be surrounded by like walls. It was like the weirdest thing. It was like my spirit was just not having it. So as soon as I went outside under the sky, I felt like I could breathe, like I felt good, which is strange because like, I don't know, I would think that I would want to labor like on my bed or like on a couch, but no, I wanted to be outside. And I literally labored standing up for 2 hours. My contractions were 1 minute apart for 1 minute, and they were really, really fast. And I just labored like that for 2 hours, and I had a playlist of songs that I had put together before, and I kid you not, every time that my contraction would end, the song would end. And then every time the contraction would peak, the song would peak. And so I was like in sync with the music. My contraction would end, the song would end. And then every time the contraction would peak, the song would peak. And so I was like in sync with the music, and it was just like this like ceremonial experience. And it was just, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it really was just something much bigger than I had expected. And I had been, like fantasizing and dreaming about how that day would be for months and months and months. And it was just much better than I had expected. Like it just felt so good. And it wasn't too hot outside. It wasn't cold. It was just like the perfect weather. The sun was kind of coming down, and I just felt like I was just surrendering to every single contractions. And I also felt that when I was standing, while I was standing and having these contractions, I could feel the baby like move down, like gravity was helping her and my body bring her down, which by the way, I didn't know it was a girl at that moment, but bringing the baby down. And so it just felt like my body knew exactly what I needed to do in that moment. And I was just doing everything intuitively leading up to that moment. And so my midwife would, come and check my heart rate, baby's heart rate, and then just quietly walk away. And it was really nice that she gave me and Igor our space. And then at one point she looks at me and she's like, let me know when you would like us to fill the birthing pool. And I thought, well, I don't want her to do it too quickly, because what if I'm laboring for longer and the water gets cold? So there was just like a moment, and I just, without thinking, I just said, I need to get in the water. And so she looks at me and she's trying to, so she starts filling up the birthing pool, and I'm staring at it like a hawk, waiting to get that water up a little higher so that I can get in. And so I want to say like 5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get in. So I put my foot in and I felt it, and it was warm. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, is this too hot for me? Like, I was already sweating and super hot and anxious. And so I get in, and I'm kind of like getting in these like different positions, like these very primal birthing positions that I had never been in any of my pregnancies and labor and deliveries, because I would labor on a bed. This time, I was able to get on all fours if I wanted to. I was able to move my body the way that I wanted to. And then the water, you know, like allowing me to kind of float and just move around like how I wanted, was just this very primal experience. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. And it felt natural and it felt good to be able to move like that. But it also made me a little anxious. And so, because that meant me really having to trust my body and trust myself, right? And so I get in, and one of the songs, it's funny because one of the songs came on, and I was like, wrong song, turn it off. I was like, actually, silence. And so it was silent. And then I'm going through the contractions, and Megan, my midwife, goes, would you like me to see how dilated you are? And I was like, honestly, yeah, like I'd really like to know so that I have a better idea of how far I am and when I'm going to push. And I didn't want to get discouraged, but at the same time, like, it was nice that I would know how far. And to be honest, I genuinely thought I was like at 9 centimeters. Like, I was like, I am definitely 9-10 centimeters right now. So she checks me, and she goes, okay, you're at 6 centimeters. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, in my head, right? I'm like, dang, like, I can't do this for another couple hours. Like, baby has to come out. And so I literally went from 6 centimeters to 10 centimeters in like 2 minutes. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it was that quick. And I just felt like I had reached another dimension. Like, I didn't feel human. Like, it was very, like, I had reached another dimension. Like, I didn't feel human. Like, it was very, I don't want to say it was a strange feeling, but it was like a feeling that felt ancient, but it also felt like I was experiencing it for the first time. And I remember feeling like I wasn't me, and I felt like I was being turned inside out, almost like, I almost felt like a shedding of like a snake. Like, you know when the skin of a snake comes off and you like pull it back? Like, that's what I felt like as I was going through labor, of like a snake. Like, you know when the skin of a snake comes off and you like pull it back? Like, that's what I felt like as I was going through labor, as I was in 10 centimeters. And I just remember looking at Megan and being like, I feel like I need to poop. And she's like, yep, that's normal. And it, you know, something that you may or may not know is when you are getting ready to push a baby out, you feel it from your rectum all the way to the front. So it feels like this intense pressure. And it just feels, it felt euphoric, but it also felt extremely painful. And so I'm feeling that, and I'm thinking like, all I know is I'm not going to feel this feeling for that much longer, because I know that I can't go through this for that much longer. So I'm going to push. So I pushed twice, and she came out. It was a beautiful experience. It was life-changing experience. I really felt like it was the most painful thing I had ever experienced leading up to that point. Yes, I have 3 kids. I have had them all vaginally, but I did have an epidural, and that's something that I have preached for many years on how that has affected my body and my back. And I had said years ago, like, I will never have another epidural ever again. And I meant that when I said that. And I felt like the fact that I was able to feel everything really connected me to my experience when I said that. And I felt like the fact that I was able to feel everything really connected me to my experience, and it really allowed me to be in my power. And like, even like the healing has been so much better. I didn't tear at all. I didn't have any issues. I was able to stand up right away. I actually took a shower like right after, in my bathroom, like right after I gave birth. And I don't know, it was just a really great experience. And people ask me like, would I do that again? Or like, would I do labor naturally like this again, unmedicated? And my answer is yes. So right before I pushed, I did feel baby's head. And I think that that was the thing that really got me like, oh my gosh, I'm like so close. Like, I just need to give it my all. Like, I need to surrender. Like, God, just take the freaking wheel. Like, take the wheel. Like, use me. Like, what? Like, I'm the portal. Like, use me to bring. I can go through the most immense pain. Like, I was experiencing Ring of Fire. And I'm like, just let me sit in that if I have to, but baby's so close. And so yeah, I felt the head, and then Igor like went up and like felt the head, and then my midwife came a little closer, and after I pushed, baby just slipped out. The midwife kind of like grabbed the baby. Igor was also like helping, and then put the baby on my chest. And it was really nice to sit in silence. Like, I'm gonna cry thinking about it, but like, it was just silent. And I was under the sky, and my midwife didn't say a word. Igor was there just in awe and just so excited. And it was just nice to like be there without being hooked up to wires and like people talking, people trying to grab the baby. And like, I just felt so in control. And I'm sitting there in the water in the birthing pool holding my baby, and it just felt like just so beautiful and so surreal. And I didn't even think about gender at that point. I actually forgot. And I'm sitting there, and then when I remembered that, oh wait, I'm gonna find out if I'm having a boy or a girl, it was like the most precious gift. And it was just like the topping on the cake. It was like the most beautiful thing to remember, that that I was about to find out the gender of baby after doing all this work and coming all this way and waiting all these months. And so I had told Igor the year before, when we were talking about gender reveals, that hey baby, when I give birth, I want you to find out first. I want you to see gender, and then I want you to tell me, like, I want your words to be how I find out. And so it was so beautiful. He looked and he was like, oh my gosh, it's a girl. And I was just so shocked and so excited at the same time, because I felt like it was a girl, but I never wanted to say it because I just never knew. And I just really wanted to find out this way. And I didn't want to be attached to labels or expectations or anything. So that was my goal, was to find out exactly the way that we did. And that's how it happened. And so, so then my midwife reminded me that I had to, well, actually, I had it in the back of my mind. I got to deliver placenta. And when you deliver the placenta, you do also feel contractions. It is, there's pain to it as well. So I did another push, and it was a little uncomfortable, but it only lasted a couple seconds. And then placenta came out, and it was cool to like look at that and experience that, something that I had never experienced before. And so I was probably in the birthing pool for about 20 minutes or so with baby. And yeah, and then we got out, and then we went into like the room right in front of the birthing pool, and there was a mattress there and like all towels and everything we needed, and all the stuff. midwife checked me, and yeah, it was like so surreal. Elle called me, she FaceTimed me, and she said, it was kind of late at night, and she FaceTimed me and she goes, I had a feeling to FaceTime you because I feel like you had the baby. And so I actually have a video of the moment that I told her we were having a girl. I was actually telling her, I don't want to tell you on FaceTime, like, I want to see you tomorrow morning and you find out and you come see baby. But she was like, no, mommy, I can't go to sleep. I need to know right now. And Lele and Seal in the background, like, we need to know. And so I told her, and they were like screaming, yelling, so excited. And then they met her the next morning. And they're absolutely obsessed with this girl. They're obsessed. But yeah, it was overall a great experience. I couldn't have asked for a better labor experience. It was definitely worth the prodromal labor that I was experiencing for 2-3 weeks. You guys were right. If you do go through that, your labor will be short because my labor was like 3 hours at the most. From the moment that my water broke to the baby being born, 3 hours.
She's like,